Go ahead and do this video because I'm trying to articulate myself as best as I can with very, very, very little consciousness. Because I'm tired. You know, I'm really, really motherfucking tired. I'm just going to say it like that. And I'm just going to say that this is disgusting. It's nauseating having to deal with this. I felt that damn Martinez entity. I've been trying to figure out exactly what the fuck he is. I believe it's an ancestor of Mikey Hernandez. Show you at the end of the video. Or his name is Dan Martinez. He's either a spirit guide or something. Higher self. I'm not really sure as to what he is. But I'm being besieged by really, really evil fucking entities. And he's the worst. You know, going back a couple of months threw me out of my body. You can use 2160 hertz as well as 6666 hertz in conjunction with 432 hertz or 1234 hertz to do something about them. With that being said, I hate doing these videos, but it's a cry for spiritual help because I have no spiritual assistance. And I was about to say what I needed to say and say it properly, but one of these evil-ass entities jumped on me from the astral plane and attacked my consciousness as they always do. But with that being said, you know, I hate doing these videos. You know, I would like to do normal tarot reading videos if it wasn't for my situation. I'm just going to go ahead and say it like this. You know, I have no spiritual protection. I have no spiritual help outside of that little child, that cherub-faced spirit guide that they keep trying to distance me from. I have no spiritual protection whatsoever. Make a long story short, these entities, which are all energy vampires that are supposed to be part of my spirit team. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and try to articulate it as best as I can and not roll it into like a 20-minute something video. With that being said, Baron Samedi, Alex Nacimento, as well as my Kate, which Ingrid Heiberg was able to gain control of. These people, what they do is they use their roach attachments that are connected to their higher selves that are designed to get control of and compromise your entity attachments. Make a long story short, let me try to articulate it as best as I can without, you know, sounding all circular and all of that. Because this is getting to be too fucking much. With that being said, let me go ahead and try to articulate myself as best as I can. I have no spiritual protection. And the evil shit that keeps attacking me understand that. And they're getting permission by these evil motherfuckers, by Baron Samedi, by, again, this He-Kate, as well as Alex Nacimento, which is a parasitic entity that isn't even native to me. It's actually, in fact, native to, you know, this wet butt couple that I'm going to show you later on in the video. And basically, it's all designed to destroy me. It's all designed to bring control of my consciousness over to the evil-ass fucking people who put this curse on me. And allow these people to torment me, steal from me, and kill me in my sleep. And on a bigger scale, this is why it's not something that can be simply solved with salt, bathing in salt water, you know, even frequency. Well, to some degree, frequency can help. It deals a lot with, you know, like I've been talking about all alone, with soul swapping, altered timelines, missing timelines, being removed from my original body and being placed in another body, which I was able to jump into the night after. You know, from what I understand, Satan and Alex Nacimento got together and removed me from my original body going back to the August 22nd, 2022 timeline. I know something happened because that night, after I had seen a meeting between, it was supposed to be some girl from Destrehan, Louisiana that died in her sleep due to the curse that these people that put that shit on me put on her. She died in 2016, and now she's supposed to be occupying my body in that timeline. And all of my spiritual blessings blessings, period, are being diverted towards her in that timeline. And, I'm just going to say it like this, like a straight up bully. Baron Samedi once shunned me from being able to get back into that timeline along with Alex Nacimento. And again, that Alex Nacimento entity, isn't even a part of me. And then to make it worse, this is what I wanted to mention as well. I remember seeing these people sign a soul contract with these people that put it on me to basically take over my body, and none of it involved me. And with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and say it like this. All of this shit that's happening is designed to put me under heavy spiritual oppression. I'm just going to go ahead and say it like this. I remember that night very, very well. I had somebody else's timelines. It definitely felt like Louisiana slapped on my back, and everything else. And I went to a storekeeper the next day, and a very level-headed guy, and he said that he heard somebody that sounded exactly like me asking for help, speaking through static, which is a sign of a ghost. With that being said, these evil motherfuckers keep, I'm just going to go ahead and say it like this, put me under serious spiritual oppression and making it hard for me to be able to overcome this curse to the point of impossibility. Not that many months ago, not that long ago, Alex Nacimiento put me in a blender in the astral plane and destroyed my body as well as my child's spirit guide to the point where I couldn't, get it back or recover it. I started using frequency to be able to do that. You can use 3571 hertz as well as 3517 hertz. And so from what I understand, Baron Samedi and these evil-ass people, as well as Alex Nacimiento, all got together and made a pact with each other to keep me under severe, heavy spiritual curses and oppression, spiritual oppression. At one point, I had Mexicans helping out, and to make a long story short, they were putting entity attachments to make me hate them. Then they brought in, at one point, this entity by the name of Dan Martinez that's supposed to be an ancestral spirit of, or spirit guide of, or higher self of. At first they say Alex Nacimiento, but that's not true, of Mikey Hernandez, who I'm going to show you at the end of the video. And it was set up so my consciousness can be further destroyed to the point of death. I heard that in some timelines, if they were going to set it up where if we try to get back into that timeline, it's some evil shit where they dictated that we have to be outside of our body for 7 years and live in dire poverty, living in, squalor and all of that. In some timelines, I'm living in tents. It's that bad. And being astral body harvested along with having my blessings harvested, all without my permission. These people, this Alex Nacimiento and all of that, I saw him in 2014 fucking with a Mexican girl who I later rescued while I was under this curse. All of this was made. They came to me in 2014. All of this was done. The whole point of it is that all of this was done without my consent. I never gave my consent to any of this. I didn't allow any of these evil motherfuckers to do this to me. And so with that being said, these evil son of a bitches have set it up so that, like I said before, if we're trying to get back into that timeline, from what I understand, this person that's occupying my body, I kept getting a Veronica Gilgy, Ashley Hampstead, Jessica De La Rose, I don't know. With that being said, if we try to get back into that timeline, we get tortured even more. And from what I understand, in certain timelines like this one, they set me up for sacrifice. So in comes Santa Muerte and all of that. They go to that Santa Muerte shop on 8704 Broadway out here in South Central. They go there fucking with the lady over there, fucking with them damn people after I got a tarot reading because they didn't want me getting outside help, outside assistance. And then those people got together and saw exactly what was happening. And from what I understand, they all have the last name, their higher selves all have the last name Santana. One of them, who I got the tarot reading from, it could be the woman in yellow, I feel, because she's the most antagonistic. The higher self, Maria Santana, saw that I was black and involved in all of this shit and just decided to come after me. Something about just, she didn't like, my color. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. From what I understand, the people who put this shit on me made a pact with them people to, keep Alex Nacimento or something. I don't know what the fuck is going on by completely destroying me. And so they've been putting me in hell realms. I could feel it. I remember one day after, some of them roach spirits were telling me that I died in my sleep. I come out here and, I see frequency. I can visibly see it, like really see it, like straight up. Not only that, I saw somebody blowing a dead Aztec whistle. And in conjunction with that, I saw, like white masks on people indicating death. You're not fully dead, but you're close. You're walking that line. And, I saw people wearing Aztec masks. So I know, and even my own grandmother showed me I'm not in my body. So they set it up where I'm stuck in these people's hell realms along with Santa Muerte's hell realms. Their highest selves along with their, from what I understand, Mikey Hernandez and these women, Santa Muerte's, as well as Santa Muerte herself. And, there was some shit going on where they wanted to steal my ancestral money along with Baron Samedi. I don't know what the fuck is going on. After learning I'm supposed to be the successor to Hecate and trying to, woke me into becoming the next Santa Muerte by sticking me as part of an agreement with one of the people that put this shit on me. I got a Cuevas or something to stick me in hell realms, which is what happened to Legua, the really Legua. He got placed in it was a poor old black man that got, somebody was jealous of his spiritual gifts, much like what happened with me on the PCH. So they stuck him in a living furniture hell realm, which is one of the worst fucking places you can be in the astral plane. I encountered some entities. They were called the, I'm trying to think of what their name was. I was writing a book about it in Astroworld on my website, toplessandlay.org. The whatchamacallit, the Swami brothers. And they had people set up as living furniture. I would never do that in a million years. I mean, I used to talk about handing woke tickets to motherfuckers. Usually people deserved it on the PCA, but when I saw where motherfuckers were being held in the astral plane, giant cockroaches covering them and shit, and being stuck in roach acid, inside their stomach line, I pulled motherfuckers out. I'm like, hell no. I thought I was just putting shadow motherfuckers on people, and shadow people are enough. I didn't know I was putting that shit. And that's because one of them motherfuckers out there that put this shit on me, some wetbacks, I'm going to show you at the end. They put sacrifice angels in my crown chakra, and I remember seeing it one night. And, because I already had Alex Nacimento, the entity attachment, they started working with me. Even though I was meant to be a it's a long story. It's a long story. Hey, how you doing? So to make a long story short, here's where I'm at in the astral plane. It's fucked up. I don't have any assistance from the archangels from my former timeline here, from my spirit guides, my the highest selves. All of them are getting paid to look the other way while I go through what I go through. A lot of them were weary after what happened with Baron Samedi and them. And on top of that, these people do something where they compromise your spiritual DNA and they get in there and they intermix with your the highest selves. And that usually happens if you have like a child of the conscious. But anyways, hey brother, how you doing? With that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and say it like this. It's been getting worse and worse and worse. They, put that damn Martinez entity that's supposed to be, again, the higher self, the spirit guide, or ancestor of Mikey Hernandez, and they set him up to cut my head off in the astral plane. And from what I understand, I died a couple of months back, maybe 3 months back. With that being said, they've been setting it up to where I ferociously have my consciousness taken out. They've been setting it up to where a part of my consciousness is being allowed to be taken out that connotes to my identity, my childhood, everything, my birth, my infancy, it's being stolen. My identity, my memories. And that's the scariest motherfucking thing. And y'all have no idea how fucking dehumanizing it is and just disgusting to have these evil ass entities. They're in Samedi, these people, they're higher selves, really feel entitled to take what is yours, like it doesn't belong to you. Like sadistic ass serial killers that feel like entitled to violate you, and you're just supposed to fucking go along with it. And you're just supposed to permit the fucking abuse. It's evil. It's sinister and evil. And I feel fucking helpless because I just don't know what the fuck to do. It's something that's invisible. You can use frequency, but there's times where it might hurt my little child spirit guide, who they've done greatly compromised, both consciousness-wise. They've killed her off numerous times, but I revive her with 3571 hertz as well as 3517 hertz. And also to get your consciousness back, you can use 1331 hertz. 962 hertz can be used to get your shit back. Anything with twos can be used to get your shit back. There's power in two. Two is master building. And 2 is building the numerology. So with that being said, it's getting worse. I don't know what's going on with my ancient Egyptian Cometian ancestors, but they just, they took out the entity attachments. They got disgusted with me. I'm hearing that in ancient Kemet, they didn't like darker skinned, Cometian. So, and I'm dark skinned. So, it's a wetback shit. So they were setting it up to where my, Lego did the same thing, where my roommate could torment me. I had him trying to take my spiritual powers and shit. I feel something pulling on me right now as I talk. To turn something into entity attachments, you can use 17,000 hertz frequency. Anyways, I'm emoting because I don't have a real spirit team. Everything that's supposed to be working with me is working against me. And it has something to do with that August the 22nd, 2022 timeline, keeping me out of my own body, out of my own timeline. And these motherfuckers in the astral plane even set it up where they stipulated, all without my permission. They came to me in 2014 to sign a soul contract. I refused after putting my higher self, which was a child, in hell, a baby. From what I understand, they stipulated that I have to wait 7 years before getting back into my body. And that when I do, I'm supposed to expect to be fucking poor, living in dire poverty, and just totally fucking insane as a result of this fucking curse. I'm supposed to go totally fucking insane. And from what I understand, it's a conspiracy involving some evil, malicious entities. Baron Samedi is one of them. Alex Nacimento, Zeus, God of the 8th dimension, God of the 3rd dimension, who was a very ornery motherfucker. You want to talk about demiurge? That motherfucker was straight up demiurge. And that's after them people compromised my spiritual DNA. I hate to say it. I used to call this motherfucker Lord back in the day, Satan. It's like a situation, and they keep trying to estrange me from that timeline and steal it so I can never get back. And it's just like, malicious error. It's just complete fucking malice. Complete unrestrained malice, and just working against somebody who is a fucking innocent, a total fucking innocent in all of this shit. I didn't ask for any of this shit. I even fucking say, when I astral projected in 2014 and they tried to come to me in the astral plane, I say, no, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck up the street with that shit. You know, now I'm sitting where I'm seemingly on the brink of insanity. I'm not really fucking insane. I'm dealing with, you know, again, entities, powers that are real and shit that can fuck you up. And I just don't know what to do. That damn Martinez, Arsenio guy used to call him, I don't know what the fuck to do about that motherfucker. That motherfucker is hard to get rid of. It's something that, this is even more malicious. It's something that was connected. Hey man, how you doing, brother?
How you doing today?
Doing all right, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm trying, sir. You too. You take care, sir. It's something that's connected to my Raziel, my Witsacoma. And it was Raziel and Alex Nacimento that brought that motherfucker in to keep me under heavy curses, especially when my ancestors were in the process of removing Alex Nacimento. He's been going around fucking with people in the neighborhood. There was a nice little Mexican guy up the street he was fucking with. And I didn't like that. You know, it's something that's, you know, it's very similar to where I also think that Dan Martinez entity comes from. I'm going to show you the email. I'm going to show you here. Where it's something that, you know, like I remember after giving this woman a tarot reading, I started getting attacked by this duck-like entity. And whenever, you know, I saw it with Baron Samedi, you have a duck-like entity placed on you. It's designed to place it, basically dumb you down and keep you from seeing what's going on around you. It's kind of like what some of my spirit guides were showing today, regarding how during the time in which Baron Samedi took me over, I was barred from seeing all of the blessings. I was placed in an armored tank in the astral plane, and I was barred from seeing the blessings that were being withheld from me and stolen from me and given to other fucking people. Just ribald. And, you know, that's exactly what's been happening. You know, I have nothing but fucking deceiving spirits. My poor fucking grandmother was making a point of saying that one of my highest selves, you know, was putting me in Santa Muerte's realm, talking about, well, she's going to protect you. I mean, a couple of fucking weeks ago when I revealed one video talking about how Micah Hernandez had sacrificed me to her, and I wrote an article based on an astral vision I had years ago, seeing it. You know, I remember that night this motherfucker was tearing up my pipes, my connections, my connectors, because we look like robots in the astral plane, just like it's shown in the Matrix. All that shit. Tearing up all that shit. You know, and I could feel myself being pulled literally into a hell realm, like killed. I felt that I was going to die that night. If I didn't put my fucking nom de plume, my driver's license, my identity, my name up there, I would have been fucking finished. I would have been done. That's why I always say use 694 hertz, 925 hertz, 322 hertz for discernment. 925 hertz, just along with 432 hertz, are very good for transmutation. With that being said, she was saying, my higher self was saying, well, you know, to protect you from the curse, protect you, you know, from getting killed, you know, I got to place you in Santa Muerte's realm. You got to stay here, you know, and I'll never forget the night where, you know, after them roach spirits told me I died, Baron Samedi, TK, you know, I keep having my successorship to TK stolen by Zendaya and her highest self, Jessica Ilhissa. That's why she's wearing the blonde hair. That's a sign of a successorship to TK. However, in my case, I remember when I bleached my hair blonde, I felt spiritually influenced to do so. My eyes came out this color, like a straight up turquoise blue, just like when I wore contacts. This motherfucker, this higher self was saying it's connected to this bitch in pink hair. Self was saying, you got to stay in her realm to be able to survive, to be able to live and escape this curse. And she's trying to help you. She's trying to help. How the fuck is... What the fuck? This bitch trying to kill me. This bitch wanted... I got sacrificed to her. How... Get the fuck out of here. So you see, in a nutshell, what I have to deal with. You know, they'll set up double binds where, in order to get my consciousness back, you'll be attached. A vital aspect of it will, it's like a saw fucking film, will be attached to an enemy of mine that's designed to keep me under severe spiritual oppression. Like a Dan Martinez, it's sadistic. Alex Nacimento, an entity attachment that's designed to fuck up my consciousness even further, distorted. You know, they pulled out my child's spirit guide's consciousness the other motherfucking night, tore it up, putting it in fucking blenders, you know, tearing out my timelines, and it's all designed to keep me from getting back into that timeline, as well as fuck me up spiritually, fuck me up physically in the spirit plane. And, you know, every single night, especially, like in the middle of the night, it's a new fucking thing. They'll twist around, distort, warp your fucking consciousness, place it in somebody else's, have you go on a fucking wild goose chase looking for the motherfucker in the astral plane. It's evil. Reincarnating it like Dan Martinez was doing, selling it to wetbacks in the astral plane. Like, you're just a piece of meat that can be picked on like you're nothing. And you have to be very tranquil in your own head, because if they figure out what your thoughts are, they're going to start to attack you. And it's like you can't even plot to fight these things in your own head, because your consciousness is connected to this evil shit. And you just don't know what the fuck to do. And they keep, you know, they even get my ancestors involved in estranging me from a lone spirit guide. You know, they keep making it to where she's, you know, has to be a roach attachment, you know, that's connected to all this for her to be able to stay alive. Otherwise, if she alters herself, you can use 7,000 hertz frequency to get rid of roach attachment. 7,010 hertz changes a roach attachment back into what it formerly was. And she was an entity attachment and also a spirit guide. I had to create a tall bitch that bad of my spirit guide, because at one point they killed her. Again, use 3571 hertz, 3517 hertz to revive a dead body in the astral plane. And there's one for physical. I think it might be 116, 1118 hertz. I gotta check the frequency. But with that being said, that's the type of fucked up shit that I'm dealing with. They tear apart my consciousness every single fucking night, to the point where I wake up and I feel fucking empty. And sometimes you know, at times they'll let me know what's going on, and I'll feel a corporal person. You know, one of these people that put this curse on me, controlling me. I got a Sandifer, and you know, when I've seen them in the astral plane, they dress like the fucking Matrix. You know, you would think Dungeons and Dragons geeks, like, you know, some of the people I, you know, am gonna show you pictures of, but it's a lot more complex. You know, so anyways, with that being said, you know, I remember seeing Santa Muerte take over a lot of my, you know, body in the astral plane. A lot of my body's connected to my different timelines, so I can be able to escape a realm, and being blocked viciously by roach attachments of Mikey Hernandez in there. and her followers. Her followers is what makes her her. To destroy Santa Muerte, Black Tourmaline is the best, along with 2160 hertz, as well as 6666 hertz, 666 hertz, 432 hertz, and they like to use roach attachments, so you can use 614 to 617 hertz, as well as 7,000 hertz to get rid of them. Like I say, it's a very fucked up, complex curse, and it just seems to be getting worse and ever fucking worse, to the point where, I'm even hearing that these motherfuckers plan on killing me off in 4 fucking weeks. Another thing I want to mention too, here's where it just gets more fucking defiling and dehumanizing. I'm hearing these motherfuckers were planning on, without my permission, placing entity attachments in me, new entity attachments to further remove me from my timelines. At one point, they wanted to take an entity attachment that connects me to my childhood, my family, my ancestors, my identity, and take that away. Like, that's debatable. Like that's up for being off. Like, being set up for that. And they're doing it to keep me out of my timeline. I felt a change in the form of a lack of my spiritual powers and every fucking thing. It's extremely evil. How these motherfuckers will pre-plot what they plan on doing, and then tell you, and then dehumanizingly do it and take away from you things that belong to you, that's your possession, without your motherfucking permission. Another thing I want to mention too is, as an addendum, this shit got me fucked up. I'm gonna tell you how severe it is. I almost have no fucking etheric walls. Like, when I tried to pick at a scab early this morning, couldn't, because it would change timelines and I could physically feel it. So I have no etheric walls. And that's how fucked up this curse is. I'm also going to mention this as well, man. They be taking my astral body parts, divvying them up, giving them to other fucking people, giving them code names, like calling them Zendaya, Christine, putting those people's entity attachments of those people's soul consciousness into mine, divvying up my soul consciousness. It's fucking evil what I'm fucking dealing with. I'll mention this as well. They set up these evil, wicked ass fucking double binds. Like, for instance, I was trying to shower and I was being attacked by entity attachments who were also attacking my lone spirit child. And, I was being told, these things will integrate with your heart chakra and all of that, and then start fucking with you from there, integrating their soul consciousnesses with you. It's fucking hell dealing with it. I was told that, this entity or whatever was trying to help me, but at the same time was tormenting me, and in another instance, it had something to do with taking my timelines and protecting them. But meanwhile, this motherfucker was tormenting me. And it's like, it was Santa Muerte and the person that's connected to her. And a while back, when I was trying to get back into that August 22nd, 2022 timeline, that Dan Martinez entity I was talking about, along with Selena Quintia, they did something where, I saw in the astral plane a long time ago, she was in hell realms. I actually rescued and, fucked up my consciousness. It's a long story. But anyways, her and this entity started following me and tormenting me, all the while telling me I have to go through that in order to get back into that timeline. So I'm dealing with some really evil shit. I'm just gonna say it. That sets up double binds and evil shit to fuck with you, and it all goes back to that Alex Nacimento entity, buried Samedi of that August 22nd, 2022 timeline alone, as well as them evil people out there in Malibu. It's a whole covenant. I'll show you at the end that I'm dealing with.